Welcome to our Star Ceremony today. The Palm Springs Walk of Stars is now in its 25th year of honoring worthy individuals, and we'd like to thank Mayor Robert Moon and the Palm Springs City Council for their continued support of this wonderful program. Today we're dedicating the 412th star on the Palm Springs Walk of Stars. We honor not only show business celebrities, but outstanding authors, civic leaders, humanitarians, pioneers, sports stars, Congressional Medal of Honor awardees, and architects. Today we're here to honor a pioneer architect, Mr. John Lautner.
Yay! Woo!
I'd like to take just a moment to acknowledge past star recipients in the audience. The great Mr. Hugh Captor.
Yay!
I was told that Robert Ember is here. Is Robert Ember here?
Yay, Robert!
And Miss Janie Hughes.
Yay!
Our first presenter today is representing the city of Palm Springs. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mayor Robert Moon.
These star dedications are always really a wonderful celebration, but today is particularly poignant because it's Modernism Week, and we've seen so many beautiful examples of mid-century architecture here. And our City Council and I are very committed to making sure we continue to preserve the great architecture that was produced here in the mid-20th century, and which continues to make Palm Springs like no place else. And I'm very proud of the fact that my first night on the City Council a year ago, December, the first vote we did with the new council, we voted and made the Talkwitz Plaza, Hugh Captor's buildings, an historic site and preserved it from being bulldozed and building 100 condos. So here we are, another star here by the beautiful Architecture and Design Museum. Whereas there shall be a special ceremony on the sidewalk of the city of Palm Springs at 300 South Palm Canyon Drive on Friday, February 17, 2017, honoring pioneer architect John Lautner with the 412th Golden Palm Star. And whereas John Lautner graduated from Northern Michigan University with the degree in liberal arts, he applied for and was granted admission to Frank Lloyd Wright's Towson Fellowship Program that same year. Accompanying Lautner on the move to Towson East was another new student, his soon-to-be wife, Mary Faustina Marybud Roberts. The Lautners worked under Wright for 6 years at both Towson East and West, following the architect's integrative pedagogy to learn by doing. And whereas more than 100 of Lautner's designs were realized, including commercial buildings, offices, schools, apartments, places of worship, theaters, and motels, some recognize him only for his contribution to the space-age googie architecture of coffee shops and restaurants from the 1950s and 60s. However, it is his residential designs that made him one of the most influential architects of the 20th century. Each design is a distinct solution for an individual client, and most importantly, for a particular location. Lautner's solutions are often suitable only for these specific factors involved with the project. However, each design is intentional, complete, and resolved. And whereas the vast majority of John Lautner's work is located in Southern California, though he also completed projects in Mexico, Alaska, Colorado, and Florida. 3 of his most recognized commissions are the Malin Residence, also known as Chemisphere, in Hollywood, 1960, the Garcia Residence in Los Angeles, 1962, and the Sheets Goldstein Residence in Beverly Hills, 1963. And whereas in the Palm Springs area, John Lautner designed some of the most iconic structures in the desert, including the Bob Hope Estate and the Arthur Elrod House, both in Palm Springs. Also significant is Hotel Lautner, originally named the Desert Hot Springs Motel, built for Hollywood producer Lucien Hubbard in 1947. And now, therefore, I, Robert Moon, Mayor of the City of Palm Springs, California, by the power vested in me, do hereby proclaim February 17th, 2017 to be John Lautner Day.
Yay! Yay! Woo! Yay! Oh, goosebumps.
His daughter, I believe, is here to accept this.
Yay! And Judy! Yay! Oh, it's wonderful. Yay!
Thank you, Mayor Robert Moon. Our first speaker today is an architect, architecture critic, a sought-after lecturer, and the author of 19 books exploring overlooked chapters in 20th century architecture, including an early publication on Lautner, the architecture of John Lautner. He is responsible for qualifying several landmark buildings for the National Register of Historic Places, including the oldest McDonald's in Downey, Stewart Pharmaceutical Company plant and office building, Bullock's in Pasadena, and the Hotel Valley Ho in Scottsdale, Arizona. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alan Hess.
Yay!
Well, it is a great pleasure to see how many people have come out here to honor John Lautner. John Lautner is a figure, to some an enigma, to many a hero. The way that he was able to translate and push modern architecture even farther than any of the other architects who have contributed to modern architecture. It's just a remarkable achievement. And we still need to look at these houses, understand these houses, get ideas from these houses. John Lautner is a continuing inspiration to architects if we are going to improve architecture into the future, I would have to say. One of the main concerns of Lautner always in his buildings was to combine nature with the way that people lived. And certainly you don't see that any better exemplified than in his buildings here in the Palm Springs area. The Elrod House, of course, is internationally known. It is one of his masterpieces, and it has combined so many of the ideas of John Lautner, digging down into the ground to reveal those big boulders in the living room, for example. He saw that that was part of the site, part of nature that he wanted to make part of daily life for Arthur Elrod, the owner. And of course, Arthur Elrod, when he commissioned Lautner for the house, Lautner said, well, what kind of house do you want? What do you want? A program, et cetera, et cetera. And Elrod just said, give me the house that you think I should have. He trusted Lautner that much. He knew his work. He knew what he would produce. This is the quality, the level of quality of architecture that John Lautner developed. He became a master of concrete, for example. And I think it's important in the history of modern architecture, globally, that his contributions to the art and technology of concrete houses is something which stands right next to all of the other great concrete architects, Oscar Niemeyer, Felix Candela, Pierluigi Nervi. These world-class architects, Lautner stands next to them in the quality of his work. And of course, you have one of the best examples of that concrete architecture right here in terms of the Elrod House. Something to be proud of, among many things to be proud of here in Palm Springs. So it is, I knew John Lautner, I interviewed him several times. When I first met him, I was a bit intimidated. I'd gone to his lectures, and he was so forceful about what he liked and especially what he didn't like in his lectures that I wasn't quite sure how he would meet this person interviewing him for a magazine article. But as we got into it, and he realized I was an architect, I understood architecture, I understood the importance of details, how you form things, the textures that you leave behind, all of those details of architecture. He became quite friendly and quite talkative and fascinating. The brilliance, the creativity of his thinking about all of those details in architecture was just wonderful. So I have obviously just very warm feelings about thinking about Lautner himself as well as enjoying his architecture. I wanted to just leave you with one more thing which impressed me when I interviewed him that first time. We were talking about one of his houses, I think it was the Mauer House, and I said, well, where do you start with these designs? What's your first idea? And he said, damned if I know. Every project he started fresh. He looked at the site, the client, budget, the appropriate structure, all of those things, and well, it became second nature. He didn't force himself. It became second nature to him to solve those problems freshly, creatively, for what was appropriate, right there, right then for that person. That always impressed me. He didn't pull things out of the bottom drawer. He didn't use formulas. He really did draw on the spirit of creativity, which he had learned, of course, with Frank Lloyd Wright, but which he made his own in all of these buildings. So thank you very much for coming, and we look forward to hearing from the other speakers to learn more of the facets of John Lautner.
Thank you, Ellen Hess. Our next speaker recently retired as curator of architecture and design at the Palm Springs Art Museum, Architecture and Design Center. Currently, she is working with the museum's docents as well as coordinating the Mondays at the Museum program and contributing to the Albert Frey and Lena Bovardi exhibition, sponsored by the Getty, scheduled to open in September 2017. She continues to lecture on architecture and advocate for historic preservation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sydney Williams.
Hey, Sydney.
Thank you very much, everybody. To follow Alan is a bit intimidating, I must say, because he just gave a lecture on John Lautner. I didn't have the good fortune of meeting him when I was here in Palm Springs, but it is certainly an honor to participate in this celebration of John Lautner's architecture and the impact that his work has had on this community in Southern California and certainly beyond.